And here we are, playing Was A Teenage Exocolonist again. Now, last time, we had a lot of fun playing some games while we worked to shovel dirt in geoponics with Cal, so let's get back to that. You're taking your lunch break with Cal and talking about edible Vertumna plants. Did you know that the dirt and climate and stuff actually changes the taste of what you eat? Cal says, spooning chickpea curry into his mouth. So the stuff we grow in the dirt here actually tastes different than what we grow in hydroponics, and it all tastes different than it did on the ship or on Earth. It's called terroir, or like terra, you know, like Earth? He smiles, a few grains of rice falling from his mouth. Man, I can't wait to eat more native plants, he says. I just think they're gonna be better for us, you know? Like, we breathe this air, we drink the water, so why are we still eating Earth food? Wow, Cal sounds a lot more sophisticated than you took him for. Like, terroir? Really? You're thinking about this when Cal scoops up a handful of red soil. I wonder if Vertumna dirt tastes different. Let's find out, he says, bringing it to his mouth. Cal! Well, I mean, we have been working in the kitchen, so at least let's try some spices. You suggest that instead of eating dirt, Cal should eat something that grows in the dirt. Maybe something like grass roots that you turn up when tilling the fields. Your dad says they're edible with a strong, spicy taste, kind of like ginger. You make curry with veggies from the greenhouse, eggplant and peppers and tomatoes, all sorts of small and sad because Earth stuff doesn't grow all that well here. You spice it up with native gingerous root. It's tangy and a little sweet. Okay, I guess 2, 4, 5, 8. That's barely enough. Oh no. I just realized next month is glow season. Oh boy. It's been 3 seasons of heavy food rationing, getting more and more strict as the year dragged on and the fields continued to struggle. You've been wasting away. You all have. It's not just the lack of calories, there just aren't enough vitamins and good stuff in the food you are eating. Your muscles ache all the time. Sometimes you feel strangely euphoric, filled with inexplicable energy, but often it feels like there are weights tied to your shoulders pulling you down. You're tougher than most, but you still have trouble sleeping despite being tired all the time. You spend the whole day in a dazed fog. It's hard to tell dreams from reality. Last week, you were brushing your teeth when you noticed some of your teeth were wiggling. Oh, I hate those dreams. You brushed and watched all of your teeth begin to fall out of your mouth, clinking into the sink like pebbles and washing down the drain. Ugh, I hate dreams where your teeth are loose and falling out. I hate those dreams. Horrified, you start screaming, only to snap out of it and realize you've been staring at yourself in the mirror the whole time, lost in a hallucination. Your friends stop working and retreat to their quarters. You lie to each other on the holonet, all saying you're okay, just taking it easy, waiting for the harvest. Well, the harvest came and went, as meager as ever. But we all worked so hard. Your mother still hasn't given up and never rests, never stops working, as much as your dad begs her to. She must be sleeping in geoponics because you hardly see her in the family quarters anymore. From where you lie nestled in your bed, your cozy fugue, all seems like far, far too much effort to bother with. But maybe if we help Mom, she'll be able to save her strength? You're out there in the fields with her, being her sidekick, helping fetch things. She never slows down. When the robo-plow finally breaks under the pressure, she doesn't. She's out there even longer, doing everything by hand. Both your parents feel responsible for this famine, but as the head of geoponics, your mom takes it personally. She's been skipping meals, relying on water and pressed soy bar rations. But You need to eat meals to keep your strength, just enough calories to keep a body moving, but not enough to stay healthy. Yet she never lets up working herself to the bone, barely even sleeping, increasingly sallow-eyed and gaunt. You and your dad try to slow her down, but, well, she's a stubborn woman. If not her, she says, then whom? You and your dad are in the lounge, slowly sipping your vegetable broth, when there's a commotion at the doors. Someone's run in, gasping for breath, yelling for you and your father to come to geoponics. No, it's just like before. It's like your dreams. You and your father run to geoponics, but you know what you're going to see before you get there. Your dad sees her body first. He lets out a cry, like something you've never heard before. A deep, unimaginable pain, dragged up from the darkest parts of where failure lives. But we worked so hard on working with the dirt, and even, can I see, memories, I was sure that I had somewhere, yes, I did. I had unlocked a way to be able to splice some of the genes of the earth plants and native plants. That was supposed to help. That was supposed to keep everyone from starving by making the food more able to survive. Your dad falls to his knees beside the frail body of your mother. He pulls her into his arms and sobs, wretched and agonized. You don't even know what to think. Your mom always seemed larger than her body, but seeing her now, there's nothing there, just a fragile shell. They tell you she didn't even cry out. She just went to her knees and then lay down in the dirt. And that was it. She's gone. And I've gained the status of mourning. Your mother's body is taken to the incinerator room, and that night the colony gathers to pay their respects. I was so sure that figuring out how to splice those genes would have made the plants hardier and would have kept it from getting this bad. Maybe if I had done more. You hear from the others that the funeral service was beautiful, just like how you used to do it in space. Your mother's body was placed in the colony recycler, and her remains will be used to nourish the fields. Even in death, she gives to the land. Your dad, the new head of geoponics, encourages you to take some time off to process your grief. What do? I can't. I have to work harder. Your mom wouldn't want you to be weak. She toiled too hard for you to sit around feeling sorry for yourself while there was work to be done. A few days after the funeral, surveyors returned with an unexpected bounty from the Valley of Vertigo. It's enough to survive for another month, until the new year maybe, if you keep rationing. The colony will continue to limp along, but without our mother. Just a few days. And now it's glow season. Oh. You've unlocked new cards in the depot. And I guess at least we can collect some of the glittering crystal cluster. Hey, Dees. Dees scratches the back of his neck. Sorry about your mom, he says. She was super strict, but she was kind of okay if you didn't have to be around her, I guess. Really? Dees? Okay. Anemone. Anemone picks at her facial scales. I can't believe your mom's gone, she says. She was like super tough, so much cooler than my mom. Don't go hard on your mom. You should appreciate that you have her and everything that she's done for you. And I guess since it is glow season and it's dangerous to be out, if I was able to help her, I would, but it seems like I don't have any other choice than to take some time off. And here we go. The roar wakes you up. It would wake up the dead. It shakes the walls, rumbles through the ship's hull, and makes your heart skip a beat. You're paralyzed by a sudden clench of fear in your gut. Through your porthole window, you hear metal screeching and people shouting. Then another roar, a guttural and rumbling like the sound of a mountain collapsing. Something enormous is out there. The Faceless. Your dad can't hide the look of fear on his face, but he tries. Sounds like we better get a move on to the assembly point, hey kiddo? You head to the creche together. You huddle with your buds, Mars, Tammy, Deese, and Cal. Because it's the middle of the night, almost everyone was in their beds. Some people are still wearing their pajamas and sleep bonnets. Only Anemone is missing. The children's creche is buried deep in the belly of the stratospheric, making it one of the safest places you could be. Even so, the youngest children are scared and there's a lot of crying. Maybe we could try to make them feel better? Somehow, even with the sirens blaring, some of the youngest drift off in your arms. After an hour, someone in the defense squad rushes in and orders everyone to leave the creche. The battle is getting close to the stratospheric. Before you can even get everyone to their feet, you feel the ship lurch and resettle at a different angle. Something is attacking the ship itself. The Faceless. Tammy tries to gather the younger kids, but they've scattered in terror. You're both trying to grab Nougat when, without warning, the entire wall of the creche just peels away like a tin can, letting in a rush of cold night air tinged with the ozone of blast rifle fire. You look up and see it, up close, face to face. It has no face. In place of a face, or even a head, its body just unzips, revealing a mess of writhing pink tentacles, blinking eyes. Anemone and her brother Calm, oh, Calm, are among the security squad trying to widely divert it away from the living quarters. It smashes into the ship again and roars, calling up a terrible noise from somewhere within its seeping wet crawl, and Tammy screams. Tammy! She's fallen on the angled floor and is sliding towards the maw of the Faceless. We've already saved Tammy once, maybe we can do it again? Is it? 4, 5, 8, 8. I have enough. Oh. You crawl on your hands and knees down the steep slope of the floor towards Tammy. She and Nougat are clinging to the wreckage of the wall, wide-eyed and terrified as you approach. You grab Tammy and Nougat and help them stumble to safety. The Faceless is too focused on tearing the ship apart to even notice you. Your dad ushers you into the engineering wing, where you cower with the others, trying not to panic. All around you, metal screams and buckles, and great tremors vibrate through the ship. Finally, after what seems like hours, the noises stop and congruent sounds the all clear. Your dad checks the console bulletins on his hollow palm. Oh no, he moans quietly. No, no, no. The council calls an all-colony meeting to face the aftermath of the attack. In the gloom of glow, you gather near engineering with the other survivors. It's one of the few buildings still standing. The corpse of the Faceless still sits caved in wreckage of the stratospheric, spilling its flaccid pink tentacles from its horrible zipper-toothed maw. It's already beginning to stink. Your mind keeps replaying that terrible moment, the faceless rearing up and obscuring the sky, Anemone and her brother looking so small before it. Governor Udicott was killed by the smaller creatures that swarmed command during the attack. In her absence, Seek addresses the colony. The council acknowledges the bravery of the defense squad, citing their heroism and finally taking down the Faceless. If only it hadn't gotten away from them and stampeded right into the stratospheric. At least they stopped it before it got into engineering, as it would have activated the reactor and left a crater the size of an asteroid impact. Geoponics is gone. The greenhouse is destroyed, the fields trampled. After a year of suffering, starving, and only barely scraping by, you're not just back to where you started, it's even worse. Everything your mom sacrificed herself for, gone in one night. The entire front half of the stratospheric has been destroyed. The living quarters, the canteen, the garrison, the lounge, even the creche, it's all gone. It's only by some stroke of luck that people hiding in the creche weren't all killed. Seek solemnly reads the names of those who lost their lives, too many, including Governor Udicott. You all stand for a moment of silence. You feel the weight of loss like a blow to your chest. Anemone and her family cry out when her brother Calm's name is called. Their quiet sobbing continues through the silence. With the living quarters destroyed, everyone moves into the engineering wing for shelter. You're crowded into the classroom with other families. The adults try to make it seem like a sleepover, but you're all still too shaken. Tammy tells everyone what a hero you were for saving her. Anemone cries about her brother and screams at anyone who tries to comfort her. Eventually, you just ignore her grief, as painful as it is to hear her sobbing at night. You feel like you've been awake for days, and you'll never fully sleep again. You try, but you keep jerking awake, crying out in fear. Eventually, you fall asleep sitting up, held in your father's arms. Your sleep is fitful, but mercifully dreamless. I guess all we can do is rest for now. And we'll try to pick ourselves up from the wreckage next time.